boys, welcome back to a completely different style of video. Something that you guys have been requesting is a bit of a beginner's guide. So I am going to take you guys through exactly what I do from start to, or what I did, I should say, from start to finish of just generalize how I did the first area. And if you guys like this kind of video, let me know. I can continue it on. I didn't reset my ranger, don't worry. This is quite literally just a different server. Instead of being on Facera, I am on the Luminous server, so I did not restart. I didn't lose any progress, don't worry. I'm not gonna show like everything from start to finish by any means, because I know that it's a lot. But the stuff that I do know about and like the stuff that I want to highlight, I'll put in, and then, you know, maybe what I'll do is I'll just kind of like show a sped up version of everything that I do end up doing. So say I'm doing a quest or something like that, and you guys are like, oh, well, what did you do, or how did you do that quest? I'll show a sped up version at you know, maybe 200% speed. That way you guys can, you know, get an idea of what I did and how I did it. Obviously I'm starting out all the way back from the tutorial, and tutorial pretty self-explanatory. If you don't know what you're doing in the tutorial, then I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. So the main reason why I wanted to start it out here is because, one, you guys didn't know, I'm 98% certain that all of the characters start out with the Crescent Moon Blessing in the tutorial. Tutorial. I just got it with my ranger on Facera, and it's actually the exact same setup all the way through. So I think all the characters start out with the Crescent Moon Blessing. So fun fact there. And to also kind of point out that I am going to be neglecting a major part, but I encourage you guys to not neglect it. Whenever you finish the tutorial, you have a chance to go through like another smaller tutorial section, I guess, where it's like, do you want to go through this, and it kind of teaches you how to play and stuff like that. If you have the time, go and do it. It's very helpful. It tells you a lot, and you actually do get quite a few levels out of it. I personally do not do it. I don't have the patience for it. It's a lot of running around, talking to this, talking to that, blah, whole bunch of nonsense that generally I just got tired after like the first time. So I will be back when I get to the farmstead. Okay, so as you can see, we're back. I always grabbed his chest. We're at the farmstead. The farmstead is pretty self-explanatory, pretty straightforward. You talk to Marco and all this other stuff, and generally in this area it's very easy to just go through and do all of the side quests that you can get here. You know, you talk to Giovanni, you eat the soup, blah blah. You go down, you have to go get the herbs, stuff like that. It's pretty self-explanatory. This stuff here, there's not a lot that is to be done. The big thing that's, you know, you should look out for is, well, obviously for starters, make sure you equip your gear. Oh my god, listen, I have tutorials off. This is the obnoxious part of everything. I have tutorials off. Look, unless it's different because I'm on a different server. Nope. Tutorial. No, where is it? Tutorial notifications off. Nothing else about tutorial stuff. and it still stays on. But yeah, make sure you equip all your gear. It's very easy to forget about that. But you know, talk to the farmhands, go kill the wolves, pick the herbs, all that stuff. Share the soup. It seems very tedious, seems very like, oh well, I could do this, but it doesn't really mean anything. Every piece of experience helps. Yeah, listen, remember that whole no tutorial notifications? Yeah, it's still off. But yeah, so it's pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. It all adds up, and as much as it seems like it probably would just be easier to just run through, you'd be surprised, honestly. Especially if you're like me and you just fly right through and you don't want to worry about anything specific. You get this done and you're good to go. You're leveling at a very efficient rate. So yeah, and then after you finish all of this stuff, obviously it's very tedious and blah blah blah. But after you finish all of this stuff and get the soup, and you're gonna start heading towards Carzacor. Carzacor is where it starts to really go into effect. Pretty much the best thing that you should really be doing is like pretty much every side quest on the way to Carzacor you should take. There's only really one that I don't take, or like one group that I don't take. And that's the, it's like a beggar. You end up giving him wine, and then he's like, oh, well, I want this. Oh, well, I want that. And it's very tedious. It's back and forth, and I personally don't care that much about the beggar. I forgot I need to claim my mounts. Oh, my God. Oh, just get off my screen, please. For the love of God. Thank you. All right. Oh, my God. So many pop-ups. Gave me my sparkly unicorn. Where's my oh, there it is. There we go. Oh, I gotta talk to Giovanni. So, you know, is the mailbox important? I don't think so. No, not really. Yeah, once you get through here, you want to kill the Wolf King. The Wolf King will give you some pretty good equipment. There was, at one point, a bug where you could kill the Wolf King over and over, and you could essentially sit there in about a day just re-killing the Wolf King over and over and over again. You would be able to actually get to level 20. It's gone. For anybody who thinks it's still there, it's not. All of my CMs, all of the devs that I've talked to, they've all confirmed that it is no longer a thing. So I will be back once we hit the town with the docks, I guess, because that's gonna be where the next like little kind of occurrence is, sort of deal. Oh, before I head on to the little town, or the little dock town, something that I probably could mention. See that bridge right there? It is this bridge right here to Avera Plains. As you can see, there's an area up here. This area is a high level area. I'm talking past the level 16 to 19 grind. Past even that, you start getting into this area when you're about level 20, 22, maybe 21, 22. But it might behoove you, if you have the extra time and you have the patience, you can kind of run up here. Usually there's people there now, especially on the more established servers. You can kind of run up through there, and you can essentially gather some chests and some high level resources. You start getting silver and gold up that way. So it is, you know, okay. There's no early game content by any means, but if you want to get that little extra inventory space to help you on the right track at first, it is a decent idea. I never did it, but I know of people who have done it. So It's something that you can judge and decide as you progress and as you get into the game yourself. Also, when you're looking at gear, as you just saw, there's gonna be times where you're gonna have a green or a white that's better than a different, like a higher grade of your gear. Still use it, just because you know you have a shiny green, and then there's there he is. Just because you have a shiny green and it's like, ooh, it's green though, you're gonna end up having all blue soon enough anyway. So just go with whatever has the highest gear score at the time, and once you start getting into the blue gear, I usually don't upgrade my gear until I have a B grade gear, and that is because the B grade gear is the second best that you can get. It only goes up to A. So if you have B grade gear, upgrade it. But be warned, if you do upgrade it, you have a chance of damaging it if you do not use the master specialist person. And I'm just gonna keep talking because we're already at the docks now. As you can see, I'm already level 3. And yeah, I'm a little bit behind people who've done the extra thing at the beginning. But it's not too crazy. Oh, yay. Ooh, pretty. I wish you could skip like the, ooh, you're in this part sort of deal. Yeah, we got it. The camera isn't moving that much. There we go. All right. So once you get to B grade gear, you're essentially good to start upgrading on a larger scale, as it were. Just specifically because if you upgrade before that, yeah, you can get pretty good gear, sure, and that gear is going to be strong, but you're going to end up getting gear that's stronger shortly after, and it's almost not worth it. Even if you're in like a yellow or red gear zone, but your level is there, you know, it's usually just a good idea to hold off. Especially if you're playing a class like the Ranger or the Mage, where you can get a lot of damage. Usually you're only looking at about a 66% damage reduction if your gear isn't too horrible, and if you're getting a 95% gear reduction and you shouldn't be, my thing that I would tell you is just go to the market and get new gear, buy new gear from there. I never get that chest. I probably should, but I never do. But yeah, so the gear is very, very important. But at the same time, you know, don't obsess over it either, because you're gonna actually gather that gear a lot faster than you might realize. And world bosses are obviously the big thing that you want to kind of look out for, because the world boss chests will usually give you some pretty good stuff. Bashal is the best world boss to farm if you were looking for gear. Yeah, that's the guy that I never get the extra quests from. He has like 2 or 3 quests, but they give like maybe 500 experience, maybe 1,000. All right, where's this dude? I heard the boom. So as you can see, I've already been recording for about 21 minutes, right? You know, all right, I guess I did it because that person did it. All right. But I've only been recording for 21 minutes. I don't know how much is into this video already. This video is obviously going to be a little bit longer. But, you know, if you make it through to the end, you're a trooper and you're awesome, and you should give yourself a high five. But 21 minutes in, I have gotten through. I'm already in Carzacor. I'm level 3. I obviously haven't done my skill points yet, but from Carzacor, you can kind of start cruising through if you know what you're doing. And I think I'm just gonna do highlights to keep the video a little bit on the brief side, the biggest thing is you almost always want to do the side quests. There's some side quests where I kind of avoid them, and some people are gonna be like, oh well, if you do that you're a little bit better leveled. I agree, but at the same time, you know, when I was doing all of this, I was going for speed, and I wanted to make sure that I got stuff done as fast as possible, and I wanted to be able to get through and get everything to a solid point fast. And when I'm focusing, like when I sit down, or when I sat down and I did this first part with all of the classes for the original class reviews, I am able to run from tutorial to the Geistwarden boss, where I recorded the first tutorials, or not tutorials, but the first reviews. I'm able to run this entire stretch in an hour and a half flat. And then keep in mind, I have tons of hours into this game, absolutely tons of hours into this game, and you know, it's because of those hours that I'm able to do it at that speed. I know exactly what I'm looking for. Even if I would put absolutely everything into this and you followed it to the T, it would still probably, you know, until you got used to it and you knew exactly what you were doing and you didn't have to stop and look at what I did, it would still probably take you a little bit longer. I've ran this will be my 10th time I've run this beginning area, because I did it 5 times in the, actually no, it would probably be my 12th time, because I ran it twice in the closed beta, 5 times in the open beta, and 5 times now in the full release. So obviously right now I'm just kind of babbling and talking, so I will be back once we get to a new highlight. Alright, so back just for a quick little update. We're through the ruins, the demolished district of Carzacor, all the storyline there. I probably put it in, but right about here there's a quest for where you gotta pick up a sack of potatoes and then you deliver it to this lady right here, and then this lady gives you a side quest where you kill 6 bandits. It's quick, easy experience. Usually there's almost always somebody there to, you know, all you have to do is just hit something one time, get the quick quest complete, and you're good. Obviously by my health, I wasn't paying attention during the mini boss fight, but the reason why I brought you guys back at this point is because this is where I start straying off from doing all the side quests in this first area, which I encourage you guys to do it. But if you want to follow me step by step, this is where I go a little different. You know, obviously I do this because it's like right in front of you. Hey, there's a quest here, sort of deal. Ooh, ow. I'm not paying attention. By the way, when I'm recording this, depending on how quick I get this done, the time that you're seeing this, I had recorded this probably about 10 hours before that. Gathering, reputation gain, we'll go gathering. Yeah, so I'm literally like recording this the day that you're seeing this, pretty much. So I do that quest, and then I don't do any other of the side quests, which kind of puts me at a bit of a disadvantage, but I know my skill level with being able to fight things that are of higher level, and so I go all the way down to the Colosseum. And then at that point, once I'm down at the Colosseum, I do the, I guess, yeah, there's like 2 side quests in here. And I'm not going to show everything in the Colosseum, but there's 2 side quests once you start doing everything. A little girl right here gives you one, and then this guy also gives you one. Usually there's a, yeah, unwelcome guest. There you go. Defeat the bandits in the amphitheater. Make sure you grab the side quest here, like inside Coliseum. I don't do that dude out there, because they're all just in this area and it's easy enough to do. And then from here, I go to the Mole Cricket Farm. So I will see you guys once we hit the Mole Cricket Farm. Cut back in here. Obviously, I'm at the equipment specialist. A lot of you guys ask me what I do for my equipment and what my equipment is at. I always only, for every character that I've done, I've only done the standard issue, whichever one you get, the standard issue, not the beginners, but the standard issue, I will take up to +5. Usually the unique effect is pretty good, and it gives you a really good gear score and pretty good attack throughout this entire area where you don't have to worry about it. And once you do that, you can talk to Lena, get your side quests. Okay, so now I will see you once we get back to the Mole Cricket Farm. Okay, so we're back, and we're at the Mole Cricket Farm, and obviously come and grab this easy chest right back here. It's right on your way, pretty much. So in the Mole Cricket Farm, I go back to doing all of the side quests, minus the one, like, you can do it. I don't think I've ever done it except for in the beta, and that's that guy over there, like on the far side. He wants you to like use the telepost to teleport back to Carzacor and then teleport back to him. And I don't know, to me it just seems like a waste of time. I think you get like 200 experience or something like that from it. It's never really like been worth it to me. I don't think you get anything too crazy good out of it. It's mostly there just to teach you about how to teleport with the telepost. But yeah, so at this point you'll probably come to notice that I am 2 levels under leveled. But the important thing to note is, because I have been doing the side quests that I have been, and that I've kind of highlighted for you, and I upgraded my bow at the enhancements, my gear score, even though I am under leveled, is actually still good. And that's a big thing that helps me in this area, because a lot of people will go through and they will farm for a while, make sure they're level 7 or higher before they get to this area. I don't think I've ever been level 7 in this area. I think the highest I've ever been was maybe level 6, and that was during the closed beta when I didn't know what I was doing, and I did literally everything. The people that you see who are higher level usually are taking their time, and they're not doing this kind of rushed sort of deal that I've been showing you guys how I do. As you can see, I'm still taking these mole crickets down very fast. You'll get quite a bit of mole cricket sap. An important thing to note, you need it once and then you'll never need it again. So it's good to grab some, and it's good to have it for this area if you want it, but it is nowhere near required, because you obtain 3 and then you keep 1 for in the mole cricket maze. And once you're done with the mole cricket maze, you never see mole crickets again. At least as far as I have gone in the game, I have yet to see another mole cricket, and I'm at level 22 on my main ranger. So it's a very important thing to note. And I have a thing where I will go through and I will do all of the quests in my area before I return. Oh, I'm gonna get hit because I'm scratching my nose. Ouch. I will get I'll do all the quests in the area that I'm in before I return to where I picked everything up, because I don't want to be running multiple times to do multiple things. If I'm gonna be going into the same area anyway, I might as well get it all done in one fell swoop. So that's kind of why I like came back here, because you guys will see I'll have an extra mole cricket sap now. You guys will see I don't go back up to the Pharmacolopa. I just did one of the quests there. I could, It would probably level me up to level 6. I could recharge my health. I encourage you to, if you are low on health or if you want that little extra level. But I personally don't feel like I need it. Oh no, where's the mole cricket sap? There it is. So in here is the next I don't know, I guess the next area that you have a lot of stuff that's happening all at once. So you can't do any of the like main mission until you actually use the mole cricket sap, but you can do everything else. And there's almost always like side area quest things where it's like, hey, kills this many mole crickets or something like that. I never have done a mole cricket one. I think it's because of my first time in this area. There we go. I use the mole cricket sap. I usually wait to use the mole cricket sap until I get at least down to here, because even if there's nobody here, you can easily dodge around everything. The chest in the middle, you want to grab while you still have the mole cricket scent, because if you don't, it's almost impossible to grab the chest unless it's highly populated. So, but yeah, so it's very easy to just run around, dodge all the mole crickets. You don't take any damage, just take the extra 2 minutes to smash the eggs, gather the artifacts, and all of that fun stuff. If you feel like you aren't going to be able to dodge the mole crickets, such as I am, which normally they have such a slow first attack that you can just kind of run. You don't even have to dodge. If you're collecting the artifacts, which I have not seen any artifacts yet, which is weird. Oh, look at that. Leveled up. Usually I've seen an artifact by now. But if you're collecting the artifacts, it's usually a little slower. You might take a couple smacks. It's no big deal. Potions will take care of it, and if you are feeling a little like, oh no, your best bet is to just use the mole cricket sap. If you have the extra, I guess. If you don't have the extra, then kill a couple mole crickets. You'll get the mole cricket sap from these guys. Why am I not finding the artifacts? But anyway, I just wanted to show you this area because this right here is what I consider the tipping point. At least for me, whenever I was doing everything, the mole cricket farm signified that I was almost done. You have the mole cricket farm, and then from here you go over to the Geist Warden. And I think they updated it. Once you come over to Cosmo, everything disappears, right? Yeah. It used to be like it would continue to try to fight you, and it used to be you had to open that up in your own inventory. It's not anymore. Ah, there we go. There's an artifact. But yeah, so the only thing that I do before getting to the Geist Warden is I actually will fight the two-headed giant dude that's on the way. I'm trying to think of the better way to explain him without pulling up the map. You know what? Screw it. He's the guy who's right in here, right in this area. The world boss that's right in that area. He gives pretty good experience and pretty good loot if you manage to get the loot. I'm just gonna use my mole cricket sap here because I need to use it anyway. If you have the extra mole cricket sap and you're at this point, you might as well just use it either to get out or to get the last little things you need, because like I said, it's pointless afterwards. You can't even sell it. It's considered a quest item and you can't sell it. So there's no point in holding on to it. From here, we're done. We're done in this entire area because we did all of the quests all at once, and we don't really have to worry too much about anything. And now keep in mind, like I said, I run this in about an hour and a half flat, depending on how much I've cut in any sort of like silent part where I was like, hey, this is something that you might want to see. But I think I've done pretty well at highlighting everything. Oh, Oh, then when I get up there, I'll show you. The one thing that I probably, if I didn't highlight, that I did do on the side coming to this area is, am I being chased? No. Okay. So, right around here, no, yeah, right around here, is a mini quest, like right about there, a side quest. He wants you to get goods, or like he was mugged or robbed or whatever, and he's like, give me my stuff back, please. You do it real quick. Usually there's tons of people killing the pillagers. You just run through, grab all the stuff, and I needed those better pants. Cool. And then you're good. That's all you need to do. And then that's it. You know, once you're at that point, you really don't have much else to do. Like from here, we have the giant world boss, and we're on to the Geistforden, which, ooh, my glutton boots are better. Ooh, big side note. A lot of people are like, oh, if it's just white, just sell it. Salvage everything. The gold is so easy to come by. I have almost 2 million gold on my main ranger, and I haven't sold anything except for green artifact shard or artifact upgrade stone things, because, you know, I have just a ridiculous boatload of them. The big thing to note is, you know, you're always gonna need, where is it? You're always gonna need the artifact shards, which is right next to my head, right there. But you're almost never gonna always need gold. You're gonna just be spewing gold at some point, honestly. So yeah, the next real, pick up the chest. The next real thing is before the Geistforden, which I'm not gonna show my run through of the Geistforden. You guys have seen it so many times before at this point. I do the Shibiki Fisherman, I do the Double Trouble, and then I get to the guy, the Galopa, no, not the Galopa farm. I don't remember what the area is called. You get to the farm, and I'll just pick it up at the farm to make it easy. So I'll be right back once I'm there. Once I've killed the world boss and finished this side quest. So be right back. Okay, now Perlo farm. Talk to Professor Rufina. She's like, hey, the ruins, and then that's where you end up going to the ruins. Blah blah blah. The only other side quest that I do at this point is I do this farmhand side quest. Just because it's quick and easy, and it's pretty simple to do. You literally can dodge everything. You don't have to fight anything if you pay attention. You come down here, you just grab some gourds, or pumpkins, for those of you who don't know that a gourd is a pumpkin. These silent ghosts. So, a fun fact that a lot of people don't know: white names means they are non-aggressive. They will not attack unless they are provoked. And then the red names are aggressive, so it does not matter if you provoke them or not. If you get within a certain distance of them, they will attack. It does not matter what level you are. You could be a level 30 walking through here, and the level 8 wailing ghost will still be like, ooh, let's attack you. Oh, you know, it's weird. I think the, like, aggressive status should die off after you're a certain amount of levels above them, but you know, what do I know? Another thing that I think I should highlight that I really haven't, and I don't do on my normal, but if you're just going through the game for your first time, or you're on your main character and you're 100% sure at this point that you're at right now that this is the character that you want to use, this is the character that you enjoy, and this is what class you want to be, what I would suggest you do is anytime you see any resources on the map, you get it. And that might seem like, oh god, King, what are you talking about? That's gonna take forever. it's better to do while you're there than anything, because once you start getting into the Narvara area, you can get drops for equipment, but you're gonna end up making some of your own equipment at that point. Which, by the way, if you did not realize, at this point I am level 7. I am pretty much at the same experience that I've always been for whenever I get to this point and when I do the review videos, except for whenever I did my ranger, because obviously my ranger was during stream and I did extra stuff. But this is the exact point where I always pick up, or where I did all of my review videos for the Gift of Valor, which I have a skill point for. I don't like the lightning arrow, by the way. I think it's pointless. That's why I'm just now putting points into it. But I probably shouldn't have even done that, because I don't mind the Mark of the Wolf as much, and I probably should have saved the skill point, but whatever. So yeah, at this point it's the same thing as I always do. I'm not going to show it, but yeah, gather the resources. The resources become very important, and even if it's like resources that aren't for your character, like say you're running a ranger and you're like, oh well, I don't need iron, get it anyway. If you're planning on, you know, running other characters, then you have it, and you have a character where you've already upgraded all of their skills. So you know you have the ability to craft them good gear and put into your account warehouse storage thingy, so that you can have better gear on them early on in the game. Otherwise, you know, you craft the equipment, and that equipment ends up being stuff that you can put into the warehouse, or not the warehouse, the marketplace, and you can get star seeds for it. So it is worth doing, without a doubt. So I will be back once I finish this Geist Warden boss. Okay, so as you can see, I have finished the Geist Warden boss, which, by the way, I must say I must have really gotten better at this game, because I kind of like took my time a little bit at some points, and I had that mess up and stuff like that, and I'm only currently at an hour and a half recorded so far. So Geist Warden done, everything is great, and this is where I got the most questions, was where do you find the soul fragments, or yeah, pretty much where do you find, yeah, the soul fragments. The are they soul fragments? I guess they are soul fragments. I don't know. It's 12:30 in the morning when I'm recording this right now. Well, as of right now. So by the time I've finished this, I don't do this, by the way. It's just a repeat. But yeah. So I'm always asked, well, where do you find the soul fragments? What do you do to get onto the Mark of the Wolf? And I've been asked this quite a few times, actually. And so I'll show you, and that will be the end of this video. So once you beat the Geist Warden, you can obviously stick around and kill the treant if you want, but I suggest coming back and going to see Dawn, because once you see Dawn, you're going to go through a whole bunch of dialogue, and then you're going to end up going and hunting for the fragments to get the Mark of the Wolf. And that's pretty much what everybody's wondering, is where do you get these fragments? Where do you get these fragments? The short answer is in that Geist Warden area, and in between Perlo Farm and the Mole Cricket Farm. Long answer, I will show you. Okay. It's interesting. Oh, back merchant. I forgot I had this. So, the fragments are actually really easy, and I'm gonna show you guys kind of like a little trick, I guess. It doesn't really track the fragment quest whenever you first get it, and it is actually a quest where you can track, and it will place the markers on your mini map for you, and then at that point you just kind of have to kind of look and see what's there. The second fragments, the one, not the treant, but the other one, is the weirdest, because you would be like, oh, well, that's probably not what you would like normally expect, because it's two people, it's Poe and Camus, and they're not considered a world boss like the treant is, but yeah, Poe and Camus, you can go, you kill them, and then you actually get a quest for it. And same with the treant. Once you take down, oh, memory fragment, not soul fragment, whatever. So when you get it, go in your quest log, and right here it shows you obtain the second and third memory fragment. Sometimes it tracks it, sometimes it doesn't. And I know a lot of the times people are like, King, I don't know where to go. But if you were tracking the fragment quest, and I'll show you because, oh, teleports did come up. I'll show you on this then. If you look, it shows you Mark of the Wolf right here, which between Wool Crickets and Furlough Farm. And then the treant by the Geistforden. So the best way that, like the most efficient, I guess, way that I have personally found is to go to the Mole Cricket Farm and then just work your way over, because you're going to be going over in that direction anyway for the altar. I think the altars are always named after that thing, the server that you're on. Like the one that I always reference, the altar of Viscera, that's because I'm on the Viscera NA server. So I guess we'll see. We'll all learn something here, I guess, in a way. But this first set, I know I can't currently ride my mount because I was in a half a step. This first set is Poe and Camus, and they are weird because they don't stay in one place. They can go from here all the way up to here and then back. So also, if you didn't know, by the way, if you hit X while on the minimap, you place a marker like that, and if you're in a party, it tells you whose marker it is. Sometimes you might have to wait for them to respawn. The best thing to do is to just kind of wait. Like, even if they're potentially up the road, you could potentially get lucky and find them when you come up this way, but I have a feeling they actually spawned. Or this dude's just, no, they had to have actually spawned, and this is just not spawning in for me. Awesome. This is one of the issues with the game, is yeah, things don't always spawn in right away. Yeah, I just heard the stab sound. They just killed him. Great. Yep, there he goes. That's Camus, and there goes Poe. That's always the issue, is sometimes things don't spawn in when you get there. So yeah, these two, my suggestion is to kill Camus first. He's the archer, because he does a lot of damage and he's the hardest to dodge. Mainly because he is an archer, honestly, because let's be fair, that the ranger class, when you're okay, so when you have your bow out, for a normal player, you can see the motion, you can see the animation of pull, string, and fire, because you go from resting in front of you to up in front of you like you're about to attack, and then you fire. Or whenever you're facing an NPC with a bow, we'll kind of show it here. He will have his bow up, and then he will take aim for a little bit instead of firing right away, which is the biggest issue. Also, always good to just get your first shot, get at least one hit on both, especially if there's a group, because if one dies, then you don't get one thing. If the other dies, you don't get the other. So it's always best to just hit both to be safe. Because now Camus is dead. If this guy would have killed Poe, I wouldn't have gotten the cauldron, or Camus's arrow, or I wouldn't have gotten the memory fragment. So that essentially gives me a quest that I can go back to here which I encourage you to do. It's easy experience. You go back to there, you get the you get a little bit of experience. You get like health potions and stuff like that for doing it. And you can see show Farmer Galapa. I always call him Galapa. Proof that you defeated the bandits harassing his farm. That's just Poe and Camus. Take it back. Easy experience. No big deal. Every fragment thing that you have that is not story based will give you about the same reaction. Including this treant. Once you kill the treant, I think you can go back up into Carzacor, and I think this scholar right here likes it. The one that gives you the repeatable quests. This guy. Which, if you didn't know, repeatable quests are part of the campaign. Shadows of the Unseen. As you can see, I have not done very many. But on my main ranger, I've actually done all except for 2 things for the first campaign. It gives you a little extra, I guess, something to strive for, like a little extra side thing, so you're not always just doing quest after quest after quest after quest. It's kind of like it has goofy things like, hey, take 90% fall damage. It's like, oh, okay, so I gotta pretty much just kill myself. That's fine, you know. It's something as simple as that, you know. And it can give you like cosmetics and stuff like that. And then right here is where you'll find the treant. Once he spawns in, I'll be back once he spawns in, I guess. Okay, so corrupted treant. He's here now, obviously. I don't remember what I was saying before. I was waiting for a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And honestly, being completely honest with you guys, and maybe at the end I'll like take a screenshot of my OBS and show you how long this whole thing took me. I'm at the very end of the market, or the Gift of Valor blessing, and just like that, the treant falls. You get a little chest from him because he is considered a world boss. Sometimes gives you crap, sometimes gives you something good. This time it gave me something good. Enhancement. Increases potion buff. So from here, once you have both fragments, oh, you get the Light of Blanche to Farmer Perlo. I thought it was the scholar. We'll just go do that here real quick. We'll give the branch while we talk. So in this entire endeavor, obviously it was much shorter for you guys through the magic of editing. Yay! Thanks, me. You're welcome, me. I'm my own editor, if you didn't guess that already. Through the magic of editing, it was probably a lot shorter because there was a lot of stuff. No, that's the wrong thing. There's a lot of stuff that oh, I broke them. Oh, jeez. There we go. Yes, there we go. Yeah, see, potions, a little bit of experience, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some good stuff. This entire endeavor, me taking my time, me kind of like standing in one place because I was doing something else for a second, blah-de-blah-de-blah. It's taken me under 2 hours to get all the way through the Mark of Valor blessing. Up until the Geistford, I was at 1 hour and 28 minutes that I had been recording. So between the Geistford and waiting for Poe and Camus and the treant to respawn and killing both of them, and being able to do get the Mark of the Wolf, I'm at 1 hour and 41 minutes recorded. So that's really good. So obviously I just went back to the main road, came south, and you'll see Altar of Viscera. Oh, this is Altar of Viscera. Interesting. Altar of Viscera. You just come to here. You hit pray, unlock blessing, and just like that, you've unlocked the blessing. You now have Mark of the Wolf. There is a big thing that you need to keep in mind. Just unlocking it does not put you on it automatically. You have to hit X again and change your blessing over to the Mark of the Wolf. If you do not hold A and see, hey, Mark of the Wolf, blessing, you do not change your blessing. I don't think it is required to continue in the story if you liked your first blessing, but I encourage you to try all the blessings. All the blessings have different strengths, different weaknesses, and it's just good practice to, you know, try out each blessing. Each one has a different ability, well, ability set. Some have the same, some abilities that repeat. So, like, Mark of the Wolf might have something that the Mark of Valor doesn't have. Let's see. You got Erupting Arrow, Lightning Arrow, and Parting Shot. Okay, so this is all completely different for the Ranger. But once you get into Lionheart, you got Mark, Erupting Arrow, and Lightning Arrow. Erupting Arrow, Lightning Arrow. So your third ability is different. Which, by the way, I must say, Mark, probably my favorite Ranger ability as of right now. Then Crescent Moon has Fire from Above, which is from the Mark of the Wolf. Erupting Arrow, Gift of Valor. Parting Shot, Gift of Valor. And Tempest Volley, which is a new one. So, I mean, try out every new blessing, see which one works best for you. Some are better for PvE, some are better for PvP. And then once you are done with your blessing, you just come back up to Carzacor, you talk to Don Diego, and just like that, you are finished. You have completed the entire beginning area, the entire thing where you're like, what do I do? Is now all explained in one not so short, but hopefully short enough that it kept your attention until the end here video. And ideally, you know, if you have any questions from here, or if you had any questions for me from when I was recording my other videos and you had it on the other video about this starting area, I have answered them not just vocally or through commenting or replying to a comment, but also you can see what I've done, because I know a lot of people in the stream were curious, like, hey King, how did you get through the first area so fast, with 5 different characters? And this is how. At this point, at an hour and 45 minutes on the dot. I'm talking to Orfina, I'm talking to Dawn, I'm pretty much done, and I'm on to Navarra. So about an hour and a half to get all of them to that area. It's pretty quick. Once you know what you're doing with the game, and once you know what you're trying to do, it goes by pretty quickly. And obviously, I encourage you to take your time, enjoy the game. This is me trying to show you how fast you can do it versus how fast you should do it. You should take your time. You should enjoy the game and see how it works for you, see what works, gather resources, interact with the world. You know, there's so much stuff. By the way, these merchants, Master Enhancement Equipment Specialist, you don't want to use until you got B grade blue armor or better. And then the common equipment specialists are pretty easy, but you know, explore the world. Learn what the world has to offer, because this is a massive world. Absolutely gigantic. Alright, and so, you know, at this point, I can't even teleport because I didn't grab this, but at this point, I'm going over Warning Navarra. And that's where, if you guys want, I can do the next little quick brief guide of how I went through Navarra for all of my characters. So let me know down in the comments below if that's something that you guys would like to see. Quick note, a lot of people are like, man, I hate the global chat. You open up the global chat and you switch it over to party or guild or whisper or anything like that, anything that's not general or all, it gets rid of the party chat. Or the global chat. You don't have to worry about that. It's what I usually do. Sometimes I forget until I see someone saying something super toxic or makes me want to like rip my eyeballs out, and then I just remember that, hey, I should probably switch that over. So, you know, let me know down in the comments below if you want to see a part 2 guide to this game. Navarra here is really the next major area. once, and it's where a lot of my stuff came through. I would take that up into the next instance where you unlock the Lionheart blessing after that. And after that, you have a very, very long time in the Jade Reach region. And that's where you're going to have that long level 16 to 19 grind. And then you don't actually unlock the Crescent Moon by how I did things. You don't unlock the Crescent Moon blessing until you're level 22. And at that point, you're actually really, really under leveled at that point. So let me know if it's something you guys want to see. If you guys want to see more of these where I kind of go through the game, kind of show you the game, show you what I do to progress through the game, how I progress through the game, all of that fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Ring the bell. I do upload many different things other than just Bless Unleashed. I upload regular videos every single day, and then I have my Bless Unleashed videos that come up as much as I can. So far they've been daily. I've been trying so hard. I work so hard for you guys. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time. Bye guys.